I just did say visit, maybe.
What's up guys, I hope you're all well. It's been a little while since I filmed a video because I went into labour and my baby is now here. So this video is a labour and delivery story. So let's get on with the video. Basically, I was due to give birth on the 13th of September, but she came on the 4th of September. So she was 10 days early. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 10 days early, 9, 10 days early. I don't actually know how you, what. Yeah, so I'm going to say 10 days early. So she did come 10 days early, and I think the reason why she came 10 days early, so she's always been head down, which is really good. So she was literally, yeah, head down and ready to come out in good time. So basically the day before my waters broke, my sister bought me one of those big bouncy balls, like the workout balls you use to, and they're really good to bounce on during labour. And yeah, so they always recommend it. The midwives always recommend to bounce on the balls to get things going. And I just got it and I was like, well, I might as well bounce on it. I literally did. I got on YouTube and I did like a little bouncing workout, like a pregnancy one. And it was, I think it was about a 4-minute one. So I was not bouncing on it. I wasn't bouncing on that ball for long at all. And I went to bed after I bounced on the ball like normal. I woke up in the middle of the night like normal to go for a wee, because obviously she was sitting on my bladder or whatever, her head was down on my bladder. And I went for a wee, and literally, TMI, I'm sorry, this video is going to be total, literally I'm just going to tell the truth. So it's too much information basically, but that's what I'm all about. I'm very honest. I'm probably the most honest person. Sometimes too honest, but that's me. So basically I went to the toilet and I literally went for a wee, and it was so much wee, and it was like really like strong, like powerful is how I'm saying. Went to the toilet, normal wee, but powerful, and a lot of it. I don't know whether that has anything to do with it, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway. So then I went into my room and my dad was snoring, because this is when I was living at my dad's house. I have a flat now and that's where I am now. So my dad was snoring, so I got some earplugs and I was like, right, I just sat on my bed, I kind of bent over, like, I guess on my knees to get my earplugs, which were on one of the furthest side of the bed under my pillow. So I went to get those, and literally like this gush came out of down below my nunny, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell is that? I thought maybe I wet myself, or I don't know. And it was probably like this much, and then there was like a little show. So I stood up quickly, and it literally was this huge gush, and it was like psh, and it was all washing, like literally falling out like a tap. And I was just standing there like, shit, my waters have broke. I grabbed a towel, put it underneath me, ran to my sister's room, swung the door open, turned the light on, bright as anything. She woke up and she was like, what the hell? And I was like, my waters are broken, my waters are broken. And I didn't go to any classes or anything, just for a personal reference. That, look, for my personal, I didn't want to go. So I didn't know anything about pregnancy, like birthing and when you give birth and the labour. I just thought when your waters broke, the baby's coming. So I literally started panicking so much and shaking. I had like an anxiety attack. My whole, like, my knees like was shaking like on the floor. You know, when you're like that. It was literally just shaking. And my sister was keeping me calm. She was like, I rang my mum, and this was at 12:30 AM in the evening. On the 2nd, so it was nearly the 3rd of September, but it was the 2nd of September at this point. My waters broke in that evening, late at night. I rang my mum, woke her up, bless her, because I was like, my waters are broken, I don't know what to do. She was like, call the hospital, everything's fine, it's not going to happen straight away. my daughter sounds like a pug at the moment because she has a cold, which is really sad. It really makes me sad. So that's what you can hear in the background, is her kind of like getting angry because she can't, obviously they don't know how to cough up phlegm. But anyway, so yeah, I rang my mum, and then she told me to ring the midwives. My sister told me to ring the midwives, so she got my pink notes out for me. I rang the midwives. I said my waters are broken, and they said all you need to do is just go back to bed and try and get some rest. And I was like, how the hell am I going to get rest when I know that this is the beginning of my labour? Like, how do I get rest? Because this is all new to me. This is my first child. So I tried. My sister went back to bed. Bless her, she was so helpful. I feel awful, but because she was up all night. But yeah, she managed to get like an hour's sleep, I think. And I was laying there, and then I started getting pains. I was messaging my friend Amber, who has recently had a baby. She was obviously up feeding at that time, and I was just like, I think I've got contractions right now. Like, they hurt, and I had contractions in my back. I didn't have any feeling in my front, like my belly. I literally just had them all in the bottom of my back. So all I was saying when I had these contractions was, I feel like I'm going to shit myself. I felt like I was going to do a massive shit. That's all I could say. My sister was cracking up because I was like, I feel like I'm going to poo myself. At this point, this is where I said to my sister, I messaged her, I was like, I think I'm having contractions. They're starting to hurt. Like, my back was really sore. There was no way for me to be comfortable. Like, I was trying to sit up, like, I couldn't lay down. It wasn't nice for me to lay down. That made it worse. But they were quite bad. But they weren't like, you're supposed to time them, and they weren't like constant or whatever. I don't really remember. But I rang the midwives back, and I was like, hi, I've got contractions and I want to come down. And they were like, no, it's too early to come down. You can't come down when your contractions. She's like, and they were like, you're talking through them fine, because I had a few when I was on the phone. And I was like, okay, well, I deal with pain. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was like just talking through them like that, like, oh no, talking through them. And I was in pain, but I do cope with pain probably better than other people sometimes. Like, I just have a good like pain threshold, I think. So I hung up on them. I didn't hang up on them, but I said, okay, I'll call back when I need to. Their contractions carried on. I was timing them for about 40 minutes to an hour. I was just timing them. They were getting worse, and I just felt like my instincts, I was like, I just want to get to the hospital just to be checked out. I don't care if I get sent home. I rang them up again. I was like, please, can I come? They were like, we can give you an appointment for 12 o'clock, like, in the day. And I was like, right, but I feel like I need to be seen now. They were like, just get ready and come down then, but you'll probably get sent home. They were really like, oh, you'll probably get sent home. I was like, I know my body. I feel like I feel like they're really strong. So my sister, bless her, she got me, well, my dad had to come here where I'm living now, which is half an hour away from my house, my dad's house, to get my hospital bags, because obviously I wasn't due until September, the 13th of September, and obviously my hospital bags were here because I was moving in. I was in the process of moving into my flat. But yeah, so my dad came back in time with the hospital bags just before we were leaving. My sister went to Sainsbury's to get me some snacks, bless her, like some energy bars and some Lucozade drinks that I wanted originally and I didn't get before because I wasn't ready. So yeah, basically I was on my way to the hospital. We got in the car. It took me a while to walk to the car. I was just like, oh, I don't know, I can't do it. I can't walk to the car because my contractions were getting worse and worse. I had my pillow. I brought a pillow. My friend Laura said, bring your own pillow because it will just comfort you, and it really, really did. It comforted me so much. So the hospital I delivered in was East Surrey, half an hour to 40 minutes drive. There was a bit of traffic, so literally the driving, I feel, made my contractions come on faster, and they were hurting and it was horrible. Like I said, all I can say, it just feels like really bad wind. Like, you know when you get trapped wind and you're like, oh my god, something's off, something's wrong with me, I'm gonna die. Like the back of, literally the bottom of my back. Oh, it was so bad. The contractions were just so bad. But I dealt with them alright. I just squeezed my pillow and I was like that. I was just literally just breathing through them. And so eventually we got to the hospital. My sister parked up. And I was like, I don't know, I feel like you're going to have to get me a wheelchair. I think, Alicia, you're going to have to get me a wheelchair. I can't walk. But I managed to get up. I just had to stop every time I had contractions and squeeze my pillow. I felt like I needed a wee, and then I felt like I needed a poo, sorry, TMI, but I felt like I needed the toilet, number 2. I sat on the toilet, just did a wee. I couldn't go for a poo, and that's all I felt like I needed to do. And it was horrible. It was really horrible because I was sitting on the toilet like having contractions. I went in like the big disabled-ish toilets and I was having contractions. And my sister was sitting there, standing there. She's like, I need a wee. I was like, oh. I got up, wiped, then I had to sit back down because I felt like I was going to shit myself. But it was just contractions. Eventually I got up. My sister went for a wee, and then we went to the ward where I was seen. They were gonna give me an examination in this bit where there's curtains and there's other people and I can hear them, and it was just getting me really upset, and I was getting upset, and obviously my hormones are everywhere. I was just getting so upset. I was like, I just need to be in my own room. I need to be on my own, in my own room. So they put me in the birthing pool room, which is where I was where I wrote down in my notes that I wanted to give birth in a birthing pool because I absolutely love water and I feel relaxed in baths, as most people do, but I just thought that would be the best option for me. So they put down the bed in there. It's kind of like a hotel room. It's actually really, really nice, but I felt much more relaxed in there. I was still having contractions. I was laying on the bed, then I sat up because I wasn't comfortable laying down, and then the woman came in, the midwife came in to examine me, and I was 4 centimetres dilated already, and they were so shocked. They were like, what? Like, how are you like dealing with the pain and stuff, because they were so shocked. Then another midwife came in and she said, she introduced herself. She's like, I'm going to be delivering your baby at some point. So yeah, I just sat there. My mum was on her way from work to the hospital because I said I just needed her there. So when she got there, this is when the examination was going on, and she was like, so we don't need to go home. She goes, you will not be going home. So I stayed in that room throughout the whole time. The midwives were so nice. They got me and my family, me and my sister. So I had my sister and my mum as my 2 birthing partners because they keep me most relaxed and stuff. So they made us tea, and they also made us tea like and toast with jam, which was really nice. And they got me ham rolls. Like, they just really made sure I could eat. They like just keep your like energy up and eat and stuff. So I was eating through contractions, and then my contractions were getting worse and worse, and it was so nice to have my mum there because I didn't want to squeeze my sister because she's so small and I don't want to hurt her. But my mum, I was just like, Mum, I needed my mum. You know when you just need your mum. I needed my sister as well, but I didn't want to squeeze her. I felt horrible. I didn't want to squeeze her. It would hurt her. So I had my mum, and I was just like, Mum, and then I was like holding her hair. For some reason, it comforted me. I think that's what happened when I was younger. I got comforted by her hair, and I was just like, oh, Mum, like grabbing her hair. And then the midwife said to me, did I want any pain relief? And I always wanted to do it natural. I've never thought about like pregnancy. I've never been scared of it, like of the labour and the delivery. I've never been scared of it because I didn't think too much into it. So I think that is why it was kind of a easy, well, it was a good delivery, and it was good until obviously the end, which I'll get to. So anyway, so my contractions were carrying on very strong. So yeah, I said to her, yeah, could I have some gas and air just through my contractions, because I was struggling, like I was very tense, and I was tensing all up my body. So it relaxed me so much to the fact that I basically was high as fuck. Basically, I don't do well on drugs, we found out. It relaxed me so much. And I even offered it to my mum. I was like, this is lovely, do you want some? And then I was like, to the midwife, I was like, can I have as much as you want? She was like, eat your heart out, love, have as much as you want. And I was so literally, apparently I was absolutely hilarious. My sister had to turn her back because she was laughing so much, apparently. Yeah, to the extent where I was literally that drunk, I literally did like drunk on it or high on whatever, the gas and air. I know this is disgusting, but this is what I did because I was like off my head on it. I literally like phlegmed, and then I just spat it on me, like down me. Is that rank? I wouldn't do that normally, but I did. And then my mum was like, Bridie, what are you doing? I was like, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna get changed. And she gave me tissue obviously, and I wiped it. And then she came in and she was like, I can only find one Cocodamol, I'm going to go and find another one. I don't know why she couldn't find any, but she was obviously rushing around, bless her. My midwife, this was. So yeah, so I only had the gas and air for probably about 10 minutes, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes, but I was literally like breathing it in so much. My mum was like, slow down. I was like, no, I need this. At this point they were running my pool. She said it was going to take 30 to 40 minutes or 30 to an hour to fill up because it's such a big pool. But she went out and got the Cocodamol. She was looking for the Cocodamol, and suddenly, this is when I was sitting on a chair. My sister told me to sit on my chair, on a chair which was more comfortable, and oh my goodness, my lord, I just, for some reason, she just came. I was like, she's coming! My mum, like, because the rest of my waters came out and I could just feel her head drop. I was like, she's coming, she's coming, she's coming. And it was just all go from there. The alarm bell, when my sister pulled the alarm bell, my mum was like, pull the alarm bell. And she pulled it. My sister pulled it, and then the midwives come running in. She's like, I only went out to get Cocodamol. What the hell? Your waters are like broken again. Like, not again, but they finished off coming out. My mum just grabbed me and slung me on the bed. I wasn't allowed a pool birth because obviously the pool was like probably about this high, because I just had to start pushing. She was ready. She wanted to come out there and then. She was ready. My little cherub was ready to come out, and yeah, I just had to start pushing. I didn't have anything other than the gas and air when I was having my contractions, but the gas and air, it had to be moved around, but there was two. I said, no, don't worry, just leave it. The woman, another midwife came in flicking this needle, like I think it was like an epidural or something, I don't know, and I was obviously a little bit still like on the gas and air. It was obviously coming out of me. I was like, I don't know what you're flicking. I said, because she was flicking the needle, I was like, I don't know what you're flicking out of me, love, but I'm having nothing. But it was like banter, like when I was a little bit high, I think, I don't know. But yeah, she was like, oh, okay, and then she disappeared. So it was just one midwife, and she was amazing. Yeah, I just literally was pushing and pushing as hard as I can. Did I just touch that? Okay, so I was just pushing and pushing as hard as I can. And yeah, I was pushing for 27 minutes, which I think I done very well. The hard bit was that the midwife was saying, I can see her head, and then it kept on going back because it was like I wasn't big enough, like it was very tight. So her head, like I'm going to do a demonstration, it's probably, people are going to be like, that's disgusting, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I don't care. So basically this is her head, and this is the hole. Her head was literally coming out like this and then going back in, coming out like this and going back in. And so it was really difficult because she was like, it's here, just carry on. I was like, oh, because I needed to breathe, and I was like doing it again. My sister and my mum were like, you're doing so well. They were so supportive. They were like, just keep on pushing. And I literally didn't scream at all. I was like, ugh! That's all I did. I was like, just literally just trying to, like, you know when you grunt so much when you're pushing. I don't know if anyone's had a really struggling poo before, or if you've given birth, you'll know what I mean by the grunt. But literally I didn't scream at all because I just wanted to get her out, and I was like, okay, I can do this. She was like, right, I'm gonna have to slit you. I was like, no, you are not. And then I just pushed, and it was one last push. The head was out and the rest just flew out, literally. Everyone says, I've always heard that the shoulders are the worst. Just get the head out, and she fell out. It was lovely. I was very happy. The midwife just basically grabbed her, made sure obviously she took her first breath. A little cry, not really, it's just like, ah. That was it. And then she came straight onto my chest, and it was the most beautiful moment ever. It was so beautiful. My sister took a picture, so I will insert a picture now. Yay. It was so cute, and I was just looking at her, I was like, I love you so much. I'm getting emotional thinking about it because it was the best experience of my life, I can truly say. I'm crying, I'm getting so emotional. I didn't think I'd get emotional. But yeah, she was here, and the first thing she did was start sucking her fingers, started fucking her thumb. So that was a brilliant sign. So the midwife just said, let her latch on, and she latched on straight away to my breasts, to my boobies, to my boobs. So yeah, she latched on straight away, and she hasn't stopped feeding since. I mean, she's had a break, obviously. She's not just been attached to my boobs, she's not just down here now. end was I had to get taken away from my little Bubba, and my mum looked after her, and my sister came with me because they were very worried that I was losing a lot of blood. They had to give me an injection in the side of my leg to clot the bleeding. She tried to sew me up as much as possible because I did rip a lot, because I don't know, I just pushed and ripped basically. I mean, it's normal, but I did rip a lot in a lot of places, so that was the worst. And she gave me an injection down below, obviously to numb it. She was stitching me away, and I was still bleeding like a lot. I lost, I think, like I was lucky that I didn't have to have a blood transfusion, I think. So she just had to keep on stitching and stitching. And then she was like, right, I'm gonna have to wheel you into the like surgery bit and get the light on you, get your legs up on the stirrups, because yeah, she needed to see. She was like, look, I've got to just do this. And I just didn't panic. Like, when I was being pushed in, I was trying to cough, and my belly, because obviously from having something so big in your belly, a baby so big in your belly, to coming out and then your belly is like all flappy and loose and not used to having nothing in there, if I couldn't cough, and it was really stressing my anxiety out. I was like, oh my god. But I calmed myself down. My sister was there to help me, and she was just giving me loads of like the Lucozade drink to drink and loads of water just to keep my energy levels up, because I definitely needed it from the amount of blood I lost. So yeah, so she took me to that room with the light shining there. You just don't care who sees you naked once you've had a baby. That is one thing, which is quite good. You're not self-conscious anymore. You're just literally just like, yeah, everyone, look at me, look at my vagina, everyone, I don't care, look at my boobs, whatever. That's just what happens when you're pregnant, because so many people, when you're pregnant and you've given birth, because so many people are in and out looking at you. So it really doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't want to remember that, because that was the worst. So overall, my experience of giving birth, it hasn't put me off. As much as obviously I don't want another baby anytime soon, unless, you know, things might change. But at the moment, I'm happy with my little girl, and for all I care, I want only one. So, but literally the first thing I said as soon as she came out, I looked at my sister and I was like, that wasn't that bad actually. And I wasn't being like, oh, that wasn't bad actually, everyone, you know, they struggle and I don't, because that is not me at all. Some people have it easy and some people don't, and I was very lucky throughout my whole pregnancy. I didn't have sickness, as you guys know, and during labour and the pushing, the actual birth, it wasn't that bad. So all I can say is that for me, the contractions were worse than the actual pushing. The pushing was actually, yeah, to be honest, I could do it again tomorrow. It hurt, but it wasn't as bad as you think. And I just got through it really well, and my sister and my mum and the midwife were all really proud. They were like, you've done so well, which I think I did do really well. So I'm really proud, because yeah, I did it really well. Is Rory Robin Harris. The name is unisex. I have had a lot of people saying, well, not a lot of people, but there's been like questions like, why have you called her Rory? Rory's a boy's name. There is no girl or boy's name. If I wanted to call my daughter Alex, James, Josh, Ian, I can call my daughter whatever I want to call her. But Rory Robin Harris is, I think it's the most beautiful name, other than mine. No, I'm joking. Her name is absolutely beautiful. I was very sure on it from just literally had lists and lists, and I was very sure on the name. And I felt like she responded when she was in the belly when I said Rory. Like, the reason I picked Rory is because I absolutely love it, but also I am a big fan of the Gilmore Girls, and that is where I got the inspiration of the name. So basically, that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment down below your labour stories or anything, just comment down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I upload every Sunday at 6 PM, although this is going up Monday. I will be uploading every Sunday at 6 PM on my channel, and my next video is something really exciting for you guys to look forward to, which is meeting Rory and just talking about her so far, and you're going to see her little face and you're going to see her. But for now, you can also go over to my Instagram, where I have posted pictures, and like really nice pictures, but they're a bit sneaky pictures, so you can't actually see her face just yet, because I just wanted my family to meet her, her dad to meet her, and just to have the time together, just me and her, and enjoying her myself. And then I'm going to let you guys see her. So yeah, I will see you next Sunday, because I guess you guys are as excited as I am. Next Sunday, where you meet Rory Robin Harris. I will see you then. Take care, guys. Bye.